Hi all, welcome to Coding Tricks. Today we'll see how to do mock testing with Golang. So to do the mock testing in Golang, we use a package called GoMock that is very popular module which is used for testing mock testing the Golang code. Okay, so I will show you how to mock a particular method and using that how to test a Golang code. So to test the Golang, first of all, we need to have two necessary modules installed related to the GoMark. GoMark, that is one is uh, GoMark and another one is mockgen. So mockgen is a tool so which actually generates a stub code for your mocking uh, code. So suppose if you want to mock a particular method, to mock that method we need to generate a stub code. So that stub code will be generated using mockgen. So that even can be written by us. We can write that code, but it will be little difficult, and there may be chances that we may do mistakes. So in order to avoid that, we can use of mockgen. So mockgen is a utility which generates a stub code which generates a mocking code related to a method. So whatever method we want to mock it, for that method we can generate a mockgen. So the mockgen will generate a mocking code for that. Okay, so I will first of all I'll show you what all the commands we need to use uh, to do the mocking in Golang. The first command your module you need to install is go get GitHub. I will provide these details also in my description, video description. You can check this commands. Uh, github.com golang and slash mock slash gomock. This is one command you need to install before you start mocking, and another one is go get github.com slash golang slash mock slash mockgen. So these are the tools, these are the modules we need to install to start the mocking. Okay, so to install this, first you need to have github git in your code. You can install git, so I will also provide the git link. So that git link git link we can see it here. So git link, yeah, git css.com. So here you can install the git. So once you install the git, you can execute these two commands. To prerequisite for having this is you need to have, because I'm taking from GitHub git, you need to have git in your machine. So once you have that, you can execute these two commands and the modules will be installed. Okay, this is the first prerequisite to start mocking with GoMock. The second step, quickly I will create an Golang application, and inside that application I will write a test method. Inside the test method I will use mocking framework and I'll mock the particular method. So to test unit testing, I'm using inbuilt testing framework given by Golang, testing module, that is testing. So I'll use that. So let me start. So before I start this, I need to have a certain things. I need to have modules in my code. So modules is a concept in Golang, so that you can define code in separate folders, and from that folders you can access one folder to other folder inside the code. That means nothing but inside the import, if you want to use a import statement which are present in different folders, you need to have moduling. So to do the module, I will just define mod. I'll use this command go mod init, and name of the module I'll give it is as sample test sample, and I'll name it as mock test. Okay, the module has been created, so you can see the module has been created. That's all. So now I'll go and create the folder. The folder name I'll name it as iUser. That means I need to have an interface in my Golang code. So if you have interface, then you can mock. So normal any mock testing, normally we mock interfaces. So we'll have a interface, and that interface will mock it. So that is the reason I have created a folder name iUser. Inside that I will place one interface. And so, and similarly I will create an concrete class that I will name it as user. Inside that iUser I'll have something called iUser.go, and here I will have something called package. I name it as iUser, and here I will define an interface, name it as iUser interface of type interface. Sorry, it should be of interface. And I'll have a method add user. This method, assume that it accepts two parameters. That means my idea is I'll have an iUser interface. Inside that user interface I'll have add user method. That add user method will do add users to the database. So database part I won't write. I'll just write as a code, add user code, and it accepts two parameters, int and string, and this returns error if there is an error, otherwise nothing. If no error, nothing will be returned. Okay, so add user and returns an error. And now I'll go back to my concrete class. I mean concrete, I'm keep using class term. So class is nothing but I'll have a file. So that is the reason I'm referring. So don't get confused. So class is nothing but my func. So here I will have to name this package. So the package I will name it as package user, and I will import this particular user interface I need to import. To import that I will make use of this mock test module name, and module name colon the interface name is a user. Okay, so after that I need to have an struct user, and inside the struct I will have a user, and I will have a method. I'll import this interface a user interface. Okay, done. So that means I have created, I cannot directly use the interface. It is separate in a separate I mean it is in a separate folder, nothing but a separate package. So that separate package I have imported first. Once after importing it, I have wrapped up with an struct. So inside the struct I declared it. So now I will write a concrete method, and that accepts user, the user, and name it as use method, and this method, okay, and u dot iUser dot add user. So one thing I have to actually change here, this is actually exposing as a public method, so I need to have a capital name, otherwise I will get an error. So that is the reason I've changed this to capital. Then only that will be exported to uh, another module. So I have just exported that add user, and two parameters I'm passing it as, I'll give sample test. Okay, that's all. I have defined a simple func. Inside that func I have compositioned this user, whatever interface I have, that interface I have compositioned, and I have written a method use method. Inside that I have called this add user method. Okay, so after that I have to create a mocking class for this. I want to mock this interface. I want to mock this iUser interface. To mock that, I will create a test file. So I'll name it as user underscore test.go, and I will name this as package. It is suggesting me user test, I have given it. And then the import, I need to import two modules. Since I have already installed these two modules, I have mentioned it here. GoMock and mockgen I have already installed, so I can refer it here. So I will directly refer this GoMock. I will refer it, and after that I will refer testing. Uh, and after that I will also refer this particular method. So I need to refer this interface. So I'll have something called, I'll go to user test. Yeah, let me change this. I need to have a module name. That module name will be present here. So I have taken this module name and placing it here. After that I'll be taking this interface name and package name and placing it here. This is done. So the next I need to create an unit test method. So the unit test, if you want to see how to do unit testing, I will give my unit testing video link in my iCard. You can go through that. So you can see in my previous video related to the unit testing. So I'm not going to explain what are the scenarios required to have unit testing here. So you can go through my video and have a look. So I'll just create a method and I'll start with test, and the method name I will get test use. Okay, and testing dot t. Okay, so this I have created it now. So before I start this mocking, as I mentioned earlier, we need to have a stub. We need to have a mocking class to be generated for that particular interface method. To generate a mocking class for a method, to generate a mocking class for an interface, you need to use a command. That command will be mockgen slash, you need to give destination. In the destination you need to specify where do you want to place it. I want to place in a folder called mocks, and I want to give the name of the stub class as mockrunner.go. Okay, so after that I need to specify package. Okay, the package I want to give it as, so I need to give the folder name, mocks is the folder, and I want to give the package name whatever I have specified it here. Sorry, here. And after that I need to provide the interface name. Okay, to provide the interface name I have to have this one. So I have to specify this, and I need to specify name of the interface I want to generate a mock. Okay, so I have specified it. So this is the command we need to use it. So once you have this command in place, you just directly go here. Okay, so it is generating the mock module now, mock stub class. And if you see, the mock stub class is generated. It has created a mocks folder. Inside that mocks folder it is created a mockrunner.go. If you see this mockrunner.go, this is a little bit a big file, and it has created reflect and all those things. So I will explain what are all the methods we need to use. So you can see that whatever I have interface method add user, for that add user it has created a stub method. You can see add user and call and all those things, it is doing it. Okay, so simply now we just have to go and utilize that. So for that I need to use a mock control. In the mock control I need to use go mock module, and there is something called new controller, and here I need to pass the t. Okay, go mock, sorry, I have done a mistake here, I have to remove that. Okay, go mock new controller t, I have defined it. After that I need to write something called defer mock control dot finish. Okay, this is the method I'm calling it. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm declaring a controller. So that means I have a I'm creating a mocking. So I'm just creating a mocking control, and that I have initialized it here, and that mocking control I'm attaching with my current testing instance, or current testing object. So that is the reason I have passed my testing object here to my controller. That means I'm uh, attaching a testing module to my mocking. So that means I want to mock for this particular test scope, so that I have passed it. So once this is done, I'm just marking it as finish. So the finish, in the sense, it will complete this process. So whatever I have control, I have mocking, I have created it here. For that mocking, it will create the finish. So if you have several modules to be mocked in between, so you can write everything inside this mock control, and you can do mock control dot finish. So finish, basically it will completes and it disposes this particular object. So once this is done, the object will be disposed. So that is the reason I have created this differ. So now I need to actually mock my user object. To mock the user object, I need to use I need to actually use this mock user. So mock user, to mock that, so I have a use class, I have a user interface, and so this mocking control I need to pass it there. To pass that control, now I need to use whatever mock runner I have created it here. So this mock runner stub class, I need to use it. I need to pass this mock controller there. To do that, I need to import this mock runner class. So I'll place this module. In the next step, I will class my I will place this my package. So that I named it as mocks. Okay, so that is the step I have to import here. So after that, I need to do mocks. After that mocks, if you go to mock runner go class, there is a controller interface. That is, you can see here, new mock I user interface. This is the creates a new mock instance. You can see it here. It has also created an comment here. You can see this comment, and this comment indicates that you need to use this particular method to pass your controller instance, whatever control instance you have created through go mock. So that control instance, I am using this method, and I am passing this mock controller. Okay, the next step is I need to create my instance to that object, my test user class object. So for that, I have imported my interface reference. I need to use I user, and inside my I user interface, I have I user. Inside my package, I have I user interface. So that mocking it here. Okay, so actually I have done a mistake. I shouldn't use that particular interface. Instead, I have to use this one. Okay, and this user interface, I need to use user. Okay, because I want to mock this user go class. So inside this method I want to mock it. So that is the reason I have to use that user, and that is the name of my interface is this one. So this is of type pointer, so I need to use user I user. Okay, and I need to pass, if you see it here, I have something called I user. sorry, I need to use user, and inside that I need to use iUser. This is the, see, this is the package I'm accessing. Inside the package I'm accessing this struct. So the struct I'm assigning this to by the interface whatever I have created the mock. So I need to pass here iUser interface, and here I need to define my mock user object whichever I have created the above step. So it is very pretty simple. So what I'm trying to do here is inside this class I'm mocking it. So I have a package, user package. Inside the user package I have user struct. I am accessing it. Inside this interface I have user interface. That interface I'm referring it here. Because why I have to mark this particular class? Because I want to test a method which is use. Inside this use method I have an add user method. So I want to mark this particular method. I don't want to have an implementation to this method. So that is the reason I have accessed this particular class, and I have created object to that class, and I have marked this particular thing. So now the final step is pretty simple. Now I need to actually mock the method mock user class. So inside this mock user I need to actually mock that. So to mock that we have to go back here, expect. So this method is actually generated. If you see my mock runner go, here it is already generated this method, and this says expect returns an object that allows the car to indicate expected usage. So we will be having a certain flow. So that is expected. What is the expected, and what it returns, and how many times you want to call. So it is any mocking framework, it is common. So if it is .NET, we normally have nmock or mock, or in Java other languages we use something else, mocking frameworks. The similarly here also we have mock user dot expert. I'm calling that method, and inside this expert I need to actually call the method. This method I want to mock, and this method accepts two parameters. Okay, so the parameters are these two, int and string. So I'll just have sample. Okay, and it return, what it return, it return if it is an error. If you see my interface, if it is an error it will return error. If no error, then it will not return anything. I mean, if it is a success, it will not return anything. So that is the reason I need to declare it as a null, and times I want to have only one time. So that's all I have to declare. Finally I need to have test user dot use. This is the method I want to test it. So that is the reason I have declared it as test user dot use. So this is the basic uh, class of unit testing with mock. So yeah, now we'll go and see how this execution works. So to execute this particular thing, we need to have a method, a command. That command will be go test v. I need to provide the class which I'm going to test it. So let me go and provide go test v, and my module name is okay, and yeah, I want to name it as user. This is the package I want to test it. So I'm just running it. See, if you run this code, I can see it has not success. It has given me an error. It is saying something is missing here. Got sample test. Yeah, you can see here it is actually expecting does not match the argument index one. Yeah, my argument is not matching, so that is the reason it is showing this failed. The test case is failed, and it is not executed properly. That means the actual parameter I have used here is sample test in the actual method, but while mocking I have given something else. I have given sample. So that is the reason the argument mismatch. So that is the reason it threw an error. So to correct that, I will pass the same set of parameters. So while doing mocking, we need to maintain the same parameters, otherwise we'll get this type of errors. So let me run once again. Yeah, this time my test case got passed, and it is giving me the message, pass and success message. uh, that's all. This is the simplest way of mocking, how to mock uh, a particular method inside an interface in Golang. So I hope you liked my video, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you.